with. Right, come up to stand then, please, my loves. And we're changing my little routine, my little warm-up routine. We're doing the twists, the helicopter twist first of all. So stand with your feet just a tiny bit wider than your hips. Your toes turn out to the side. There's always got to be a little bit of softness in the knee. And it doesn't mean that you're dead still and your legs are stiff, but quite the opposite. I want you to sort of almost bounce up and down when you do this. So you're beginning. So it's almost as though when you come into these helicopter swings, the arms are really the last thing for you to worry about, okay? What I do want you to think about is that there is a little bit of rise and fall to your height, because the knees are acting a bit like shock absorbers. But what I also want you to do is feel down into the soles of your feet and notice how your feet are articulating with the ground. And the reason for that is because we use different parts of our feet to help propel this movement. And so you might notice that you start to use the inside or the outside of your feet. And this can feel quite nice when we get this sense of awareness. So our feet are so far away from our heads, we often don't contemplate them too hard, do we? To the point where we stuff them into shoes that don't properly fit us. And our feet end up getting bunions, or, you know, we get sore feet, don't we? So we've got to look after our feet, and that comes from paying attention to them. So that's what I want you to do with these helicopter swings. And what happens with the rest of your body is entirely natural, okay? It's like it's this corkscrew effect that springs up from the feet, up through the legs, through the hips, through the waist, and allows your spine to begin to rotate. And it should feel really freeing and quite liberating for your body. So I don't want you to worry about how high your arms are going. Of course, you can start to lift the arms up, and that will give you more stretch into the waist. But this is only there as little tweaks, if you like, little options that are available to you. I do want you to allow your head to turn freely. So you're looking out over your shoulder behind you, or even all the way around into the opposite direction. And that can feel quite nice, but you've got to pay attention to it so you don't get dizzy. I love this. This is probably the number one thing. If I have so many of my core clients phoning me saying, what can we do? We really need to see you, you know, necks hurting, shoulders hurting, or, you know, feeling grumpy, feeling miserable. And this is probably one of the things that I say to people to do, because it's so mobilizing for your spine. And not only that, but it just makes you feel good. And if you can sustain doing this for up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes even, it really does make a difference to your feelings of well-being. And there's a reason why, you know, ancient civilizations have done this. Think about the Chinese and how they stand outside in parks doing this. Think about the twirling dervishes as well. They spin and things. There's an inherent there's a history to spinning and what it does. Okay. However, in a 45-minute class, we don't have that luxury, but we are going to slow down. We're not quite done with the spins yet, because as you naturally come to a stop, you're going to keep the same leg position. And then we're going to do this one. We're going to take the arms out. So I'll go slowly the first time. And then when they come down, one arm goes across and the other arm comes behind, and you're reaching across. Then it's back to the center, and then across to the other side, the other arm behind. So back to the center and across, up to the center and across. So this will become another fluid thing, and you can lift the arms up. You can feel the knees bobbing up and down a little bit. And this is great for encouraging the lung space, great for the shoulders. That's good. Lovely. Don't worry if you get a bit wrong. I always want to just go from side to side and then kind of get, oh, my arms all in a pickle. It's one of those ones you have to concentrate on. Good. Okay, now come to hanging forward slightly and changing, just letting the arms swing in front of you, but changing which arm is in front. And then coming into an eagle arm position. I'll turn around slightly. You're going to lift up, but keep the knees a little bit bent. I want you to breathe in and move the elbows away from you and really round the upper part of your back. And then as you breathe out, you gently sort of upright yourself a bit more. 2 more of these. So breathe into the back body. And breathe out. One more time, breathing in. And out. Good. And swing back, arms swinging, alternating which arm is in front. And then you've got to change the elbows, come back into your eagle arm position, lift up. And then move, breathing in, moving the elbows away, breathe into back body, really round, drop chin to chest, and then come back and do it again, breathing in, chin to chest, and then back. Good, one more time. Breathe into the back of your shoulder blades, and come back. Good, go back to a few swings. Nice. Then come upright, one arm going backwards. This is more into the waist and just the shoulder mobility itself. Other arm going forwards. Good job, everyone. And then stop it down, the other arm going backwards. And bringing the other arm forwards when you're ready. So the alternate circles of the arms. Looking awesome, everyone. Well done. Okay. Now then, stop it down, slow it down. Come back to, bring your hands together in front of you. Elbows together. Pump the wrists up and down to warm up the wrists. Warm up this joint space. We're going to be using the hands a lot, what we tend to, don't we, in these practices, because we're going through sun salutations and modifying them. So if you ever need to be off of your hands, you could be on your fists or onto your knuckles or onto your fingertips. Okay, swing that out. And then change the cross of your fingers and go the other way. Nice. I'm going to change my view slightly. You can see more view. Good job. Okay, and then swing it out again. I want you to take your hands out in front and spread your fingers. Make your hands into fists and then flick the fingers out. And just do this a couple of times. Good. All right, lovely. And then bring your feet together, bend the knees, twirling the hips. We're kind of going in reverse now. So we're going to go down the joints, down through the hips, the knees, the ankles. So we're twirling, we're drawing a circle in the air with our tailbone. So rolling the knees. Okay, can you see how I'm scooping? It's like I'm doing little cat and cow tilts with my hips, like I'm belly dancing. All right, good job. And then come back up, just give the legs a bit of a break. Now what I want you to do is squeeze the inner thighs together, send the hips forwards, lift the heart up, open the arms, start with a little bit of a back bend. Okay, then come back, slowly does it. You will have gone one way, so go the other. So do some circles, about 8 of these. Can you see all right? Can you see what I'm doing? I think there's a few of you like a little bit puzzled. So if I turn around like this, my derriere, you can maybe see what I'm doing. I'm trying to draw a circle in the air. So my hips are spinning around. Does that make a little bit more sense? Sorry, you have to see that. Okay, and then gently come up. So same thing, big toe joints together. Squeeze the inside of the thighs. Send the front of the hips forwards. Open the heart, open the palms. Roll the shoulder blades backwards slightly. Lift the heart to the ceiling. Strong legs, firm your glutes. Okay, remember backbones need strong glutes. All right, then gently chin to chest. Coming down, hands just above the knees again. We'll swirl the knees in circles. And then we'll go the other way. So swirl the knees the other direction. Okay, and then gently come back up to stand. Hands on the hips, one foot behind the other. Toe or heel circles, but rolling onto the top of the foot. And changing direction. And then swapping feet over, bringing the other foot behind. Okay, Judy, just be careful, just go slowly. Okay.
Sorry, I've spent ages trying to get in.
All right. Okay. All right. So then, come back to a central place. I'd like you to come and walk towards the top of your mat, please. Have your feet about hips width apart. Stand with your hands down by your sides, your gaze forwards. Chin in slightly, body weight grounding into the earth. Nice. Okay, let's go. Breathe in, arms wide. Bring the palms together above your head and look up. Just this first one, look up towards your thumbs. Then gently exhale, folding forwards. We're keeping our theme this week, our little theme of back bend. So if you were in class on Tuesday, some of this will be familiar. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands onto the shins, look forward. So remember these first rounds, we just take it really gently, really slowly. Bring your fingertips to the floor and step back into a plank position, please. Shoulders over the wrists. Now this is the first time the hands have made contact with the ground. So we're going to pop the knees down onto the floor. And just because I want to support the wrists, I want you to pause and I'd like you to take some circles with your shoulders. Just noticing how your wrists are feeling, how your hands are feeling. And if they're a little bit tender for whatever reason, I want you to be super careful. Rolling your circle, your shoulders in the other direction now. Just do a couple of these. And then turn your fingers out so they point to the edges of your mat and do a couple of circles. And then change the direction. Good. And then turn the fingers in so they point towards each other. Same thing. Do some circles. Try to keep the arms fairly straight. I know that's difficult. You're right, Nina. You're having trouble getting on, aren't you? Okay. And rolling in the other direction. And now we're going to turn the fingertips back. So the fingers point towards the heels. And we're just going to lean back. If the heel of the hands lift off of the floor, that's fine, okay? They don't have to stay really grounded, but do just feel this stretch moving up the back of the wrist and up into the elbows, maybe along the inner line of the arm. Okay, just one more of these. And then peel the heel of the hands off of the floor, leave the toes tucked under and sit back onto your heels just for a moment and give the wrists a little circle out in the air in front of you. Okay, so we're just really trying hard to keep the wrists nice and soft. All right. Okay, but I did promise you a sweaty one. So I want you to be towards the back of your mat. Your toes are going to be onto the floor. I'd like you to lean forwards, so keep your bottom towards your heels. And this is going to be a familiar start position for us today. So the arms are, your head doesn't have to touch the floor, but your arms are stretched out towards the end of the mat. You're going to float up to an all fours position, leaving your toes tucked under. And then I'd like you to send your heels back, and I'd like you to round your upper body slightly. So your hip bones, the front of the hips are moving towards the low ribs, and your tailbone is pointing towards your heels. So can you feel that that's engaging your tummy muscles? I want your tummy muscles working hard here, okay? Then what happens when we engage the core, the wrists and the arms don't have to work so hard. So you might find that you're not as heavy into your wrist joint. Then you're going to gently bend the knees, bring the chin and the chest down towards the ground, please. Float the heart forwards, untuck the toes and lift up into cobra pose. Then gently come down, tuck the toes, lift the hips back, and then bring the bottom back towards the heels and float the knees just off of the floor. Okay, so this is like a child's pose without knees. Now let's do the same. Float up to a plank, but tuck the tailbone down, lift the front of the hips towards the low ribs. Keep the arms straight and lower the hips towards the ground. Lift the heart. So we're in a modified upward dog. So knees are not on the floor, but the toes are tucked. Then soften the knees, take the bottom back, keep it low, keep the knees off of the floor, modified child's pose. Breathe in, roll up to a plank, tailbone points down, hips lift forwards, and then lower hips, lift heart. Good. Keep the bottom really low, the knees close to the floor but not on the floor. Take the bottom back. Hold it here. We're going to do one more of these. So rolling up, high plank, tailbone points towards heels, front of the hips, lift to low ribs, then lower hips towards the ground, lift the heart, strong arms. Good. And then back. How are those quads feeling? Float the hips back, knees don't go on the floor, not yet. And then you can lift the hips up and come into downward dog. Woohoo, well done. When you're ready, look forwards and walk your feet up towards your hands, towards the top of your mat, feet hips width apart. And then inhale, arms wide, come all the way up to stand. Palms together, look, thumbs. Take a little bit of a back bend now. Strong legs, firm the glutes. And then gently bring hands to your heart. Good, just rest for a moment here. Maybe press the palms firmly against one another as you breathe into the back of your body. Good. Okay, so we're going to keep going. We're going to add some other stuff in now. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit warmer. Breathe in, coming up, arms wide. Look, thumbs. Breathe out, hands come down to the ground. Bend forwards with knees bent. Hands to shins. Look forwards. Halfway lift. Very nice. Hands come down to the floor, step back into a high plank pose. Now, can you find that tailbone tuck again? So the tummy is working hard. Just get that momentarily, and then knees come down, chin and chest comes down, sweep forwards into cobra pose. Good. Downward dog, so breathing out to gently come back, and then lift your right foot up to the sky. Take your right foot forwards to the top of your mat and drop your right knee down. Breathe in and come up. Hands lift, and you can take a little bit of a back bend here. So firm the glutes, strong legs, lift the front of the hips up, but lean the heart, lean the hands back. Then this is where it's going to get nice and juicy. The right hand's going to come behind you. The left, so I'm assuming you've got your right leg forwards. So right hand points back, left hand points forwards. Yeah, so you're in a twist, you're twisting towards your front leg side. So come back, breathe in, Anjali-asana. And then as you breathe out, this time twist, but lift your knee off of the floor. press the left heel back. Knee comes down, back to the center, lift up, Anjali-asana. One more time, right hand back, left hand forwards, press back through the left heel. Good. Anjali-asana, knee comes down, bow the hands forwards, step the right foot back, pedal it out in downward dog. Okay. Lift your left foot up to the sky. Step it through to the top of your mat. Right knee down onto the floor. We're going to do 3 of these, straight into it. Breathe in, Anjali-asana. Breathe out, left hand comes back, right knee lifts off the floor, you're twisting. Breathe in, knee comes down, lift up. Good. Breathe out, twist, lift up the back knee. Breathe in, back to the center, lift up. Breathe out, last one. Good. Come back to the center, a bit wobbly on this side, lift up. Bow forwards, hands come down, back knee lifts, step back. All welcome down dog, so pedal it out from the heels. Good job. Either look, step or jump your feet up towards the top of the mat. You can always walk them there gently. Halfway lift when you get there, please. Folding forwards, Uttanasana. Breathing in, arms come wide, come all the way up. Good job. Hands to heart, breathe out. Press palms together, breathe into the back body. And out. Good job. Breathe in. Bring the arms wide. Bring the hands above the head. They don't need to touch, but firm the thighs, squeeze the glutes, strong legs, lean back into as much of a back bend as you feel comfortable with going. Breathing out, bowing forwards, coming down into a forward fold. Hands come forwards a little bit so that the knees can come down onto the mat. I'm going to move back so you can see a little bit. So make sure you've got space. Toes stay tucked, breathe in, lift up arms, send hips forwards, lean back into a back bend. Forward fold, hands come to the floor, lift knees, Uttanasana. Breathe in, arms lift, squeeze the thighs, back bend again. Breathe out, folding down, head hangs. Knees come to the floor. Breathe in, back bend. Folding forwards, Uttanasana. Breathing in, arms wide. Little back bend. Bowing down. Knees come down. Breathing in. Good. And then hands come to the floor. Walking the feet back a little bit. Tucking the toes under into another downward dog. And just have a little rest here, a little pedal of the heels. Good. Take your right foot up to the sky. Step it forwards to the top of your mat. This time, see if you can keep the back knee lifted. As you breathe in, come all of the way up. So a high lunge this time, a high balancing warrior. Not much of a back bend. You can take a back bend if you want to, but please just be careful, don't overdo this. Make sure the legs are working hard. Then you're going to lean forwards. Hands float out behind you, sort of in line with the back leg. Make the back leg really strong, but press back through the heel. Try not to rest your upper body on your top thigh if you can. Then you're going to float. That leg's going to come off of the floor, and you're pressing back through the left leg. The left leg is then going to reach up, come up in front of you, and you're holding the outside of the right knee with your left hand, your right hand, and your left hand is going to come out behind you for a twist. Okay, so we're going to do that again. Balancing warrior, not balancing warrior. Warrior 3 modified, so aeroplane pose, stretching back through the left leg, and then coming up, right knee, right hand holds left knee, left hand behind. So I hope you can see that. Okay, now you're going to step the left foot back and you're going to turn to the side. So I'm going to flip myself around so I can see you, and you're into a goddess pose, okay? So don't worry about which way you're facing. This is all good, okay? Come down into a low squat. Very nice. Just see if you can pulse now. We're going to do probably about 10 of these pulses, just coming down and up, down and up. Very nice. Good. And then lowering down, staying there, but lifting the heels off of the floor. Hold it there. Very nice. Okay, now when we come out, spin on the balls of your feet so the heels can come out wide and fall down to the ground. Let your head hang. Good. And then gently floating all the way back up. Turn your right toes towards the top of your mat again, and then come into a warrior two position. Arms float up to shoulder height, look down, right fingertips into the distance. Breathe here. Good. Start to straighten your front leg, reach forwards, come into triangle pose, look up towards your thumb. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to bend the front knee. We're going to spin up the back heel, bring both hands down to the floor, step back into a lunge position. Oh, sorry, into a down dog position. Float the shoulders over the wrists. Tailbone points backwards towards the heels, front of the hips, lift to low ribs. Then lower the hips down towards the ground. Good. Bending the knees, don't put the knees on the floor. Take the bottom backwards towards the heels. Floating up into a high plank, tailbone points to heels, remember. And then lowering front of hips, lifting heart strong. Knees float back, very nice. We're only going to do 2 of these. So lift the bottom up into the air and then look forward, slightly step or jump your feet to the top of your mat. Walk them there if you need to. Hang down, breathing in, arms come wide. Look thumbs, hands to heart. Good job. Okay, we're going to go straight back into this. Breathe in, hands lift. Forward folding all the way down to the ground. Halfway lift, breathe in. As you breathe out, hands come to the floor. We're going to take just the left foot back. So we're going to go the other side this time, okay? Breathe in, high balancing warrior. Breathe out, floating forwards into the hands coming back, leaning forwards. See if you can pick the back foot off of the floor and float it up. Well done, well done, well done. And then bring the knee up in front of you. Hold the knee with the opposite hand. Take the hand behind you. If you can turn, look towards the thumb. Backwards into warrior 3. Hands out wherever you want them to be. Stretching straight back. And then bringing that knee back up in front of you again. Taking your little standing twist. Very nice. From here, take the foot out behind you. Sumo step it out wide. Straight legs this time. Hang forwards, swing the arms. Come into an eagle arm position and lift up. Turn, make sure the toes are turned out. Come down into your goddess squat, but lift your elbows up high. Little pulses here, up and down. Good. Keep lifting the elbows, lift the heels off of the floor. Go as high as you can. Very nice. Hold it here. And then spin the heels out wide. Keep the elbows into eagle, but fold forwards. See how close you can come to the floor with your hands or even your elbows. Good job. Breathing in, coming gently back up. Releasing the arms, turning the left foot out. So So it'll be the other way for you guys, but don't worry about mirroring me. Just make sure you've got your left toes pointing to the top of the mat and you're into warrior two. Breathe in. As you breathe out, straighten the front leg, reach forwards and come down, triangle pose, lifting up, fingertips high. Good job. Doesn't matter which way you're facing. Okay, so we're going to bend the front knee, going to spin up the back heel, you're going to bring the hands down to the mat. Very nice. Stepping back into downward dog and just resting it out there for a moment. Oh, very nice. Well done. Okay. And then looking forwards towards where your hands are, bending your knees, engaging your tummy muscles and lightly jumping your feet towards the top of your mat, hanging down. Breathing in, arms come wide, come all of the way up. Look thumbs. Breathing out, gently coming all the way back down, forward folding. Halfway lift, breathe in. Breathe out, folding down. Right foot stays where it is. Step the left foot back down to the end of the mat. So don't worry about which way you're facing or if you're going to turn the other way. We can do the same sequence, going to add in a couple of things. So breathe in, bring the arms up for your balancing warrior. This time let's add the twist in. So as you breathe out, keep the knee off of the floor and turn to look out behind you if you can. Breathe in, come back up to the center. Forward fold into that arrowhead position. Hands reach and point in the direction, in the angle of your back leg. Back leg is nice and strong and long. See if you can get your momentum, strong glutes to float up the back leg and lift the foot, sorry, I'm a bit wobbly, into a warrior three. So take your time, like me, need a bit of help with the balance today. Bending the front knee, bringing it up, bringing your balancing leg up in front of you, holding it with the opposite hand, coming into a twist in the other direction. If you want to go further, reach for the outside edge of your back foot and straighten it out in front of you. We did this last week in class. Very nice. Okay, so next variation, you're going to float that leg down and you're going to bring it behind your right leg. Okay, so it doesn't matter if I'm going to step over so you can see a little bit more clearly. So I've stepped it behind. If you can put the outside edge of your foot on the floor, go for it. You're going to reach your arms up, hold on to your left wrist and lean over towards your right. So you've got a little side body twist in here and you're having to work at your balance. Doesn't matter if you've got the ball of your foot on the floor, it doesn't matter as long as it's gone behind your leg somewhere and you're leaning to the right. Good job. Gently release, come back to the center. Whoopsie, so wobbly this morning. And lift up your knee in front of you so you can lean it back and side step out to the side. So you're probably facing the left-hand side of your mat. I'm going to turn around so that you can see me. Okay, swing forwards. Try to remember which way you went the first time. So if you come into your eagle arms and it feels really easy, it was probably the same way that you went last time. So alternate it if you can. Lifting up when you're ready. Bending your knees, coming into that goddess squat, come a bit lower this time. Lift the elbows a bit higher. Little pulses, breathing in, breathing out. Good job, you've got this. And then start pulsing, but lift the heels, squeeze it out, hold it steady, breathe in. Good job. One more breath. And then spin the heels out, turn the toes in slightly so that you can fold forwards more comfortably. Maybe bringing your hands down towards the ground. Let your chin come towards your chest and breathe here for a moment. Okay, taking an inhalation, coming up, releasing the arms, turning the right toes to point to the top of the mat. Keep the left toes spun in, warrior two. Okay, so right foot forwards, right knee bent, arms up to shoulder height. Good. Breathe in here. Strong leg. Feel this leg working hard. Externally rotate the thigh. Then straighten the leg. Reach forwards, coming down. Left hand goes up. Look up towards your hand. Good. Take a breath in here. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to change it up just a little bit. I want you to bend the right knee. I want you to sweep the arms all of the way up in front, spin up the back heel. So you're back to this high balancing warrior position. Very nice. Then floating forwards, warrior 3 modified. Good. Coming back up, hold the left knee, turn, look back towards the left hand. Very nice. Reach for the foot if you can. Take the foot out straight in front of you. So this is all on the same side that we've just done. Good job. And then release. Come down. Very nice. Just stand for a moment. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Lovely stuff, ladies. I'm going to turn to the other end of the mat. So we'll do left foot lead this time. Okay, breathe in, arms come wide all the way up. Straight back down to the floor. Halfway lift, breathe in. Gently breathe out, left foot stays where it is, right foot strides back. Up into a balancing warrior. Breathe in. As you breathe out, twist. Right hand forwards, left hand back. Breathe in, coming up. Very good. Leaning forwards, arrowhead, okay, hands reaching back. Don't drop your body weight onto your thigh. When you're ready, float the back leg off the floor, strong left leg. Use that strength in the glutes to fire the foot backwards. Good. Then lifting up, right knee floats in front. Hold the knee with the left hand, right hand comes behind. If you can reach for the outside of the right foot, go for it, work towards straightening the leg if that's available to you. Very nice. Good job. Gently release. You're going to take the foot behind the left leg, take the arms above the head, hold on to the right wrist and lean across to the left. Stretch on the right side of the body, please. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. And then gently come back, release. Float the foot off of the floor. Take the foot out behind you. Drop it down and spin to the side. Okay, back to here. We're not going to do the eagle arms because we've done that on both sides, but I do want you to turn your toes out. I want you to lower down into your goddess squat. I want you to make sure your tailbone is pointing down, the front of the hips are lifting up. I want you to lift your heels off of the floor and like you to do your little pulses with your heels lifted. So it's just like you're bouncing, but keep it controlled, okay? Keep the tailbone pointing down, tummy nice and strong. Good job, you've so got this, well done. And then coming up, don't put the heels on the floor, straighten the legs. Spin the heels out to the sides, very nice. And fold forwards, coming down to the ground. Relaxing the head, relaxing the shoulders. Good job. Okay. Then when you're ready, lifting back up, spinning the left toes to the top of your mat. Making sure the right toes have turned in, bending the front knee, lifting up, warrior 2. Looking down, left fingertips into the distance. Hold this here, nice strong legs. Externally rotate the front thigh. Firm the glutes. Then straighten the front leg. Reach forwards, hand comes down. Right hand goes up, look at your thumb. Breathe. Good job. Then we're going to lower that arm in a big circle behind you. As it does this, start to bend the front knee. Spin up the back heel. Whoopsie. Lifting up, balancing warrior. Floating forwards, warrior 3, last one. And then knee comes up. Hold the knee, take your little twist. Maybe reach for the foot. See if you can take the foot out. Good job. And then gently release. Come back down with the arm, back down with the foot. Facing forwards. Arms come wide. Palms together above the head. Little standing back bend. Strong legs to see where you can take it. And then gently fold all of the way down to the ground. Head hangs. Hold the opposite elbows. Have a little sway from side to side. Good job. And letting the head hang completely. I want you gently to lower yourself down and come to sit. I think we are sadly going to run out of time for the tripod headstands, but I will factor them in somewhere. maybe we'll do it Saturday morning, or maybe we'll do it next Thursday. But I think it needs a bit more time than the time we've got left. So what we're going to do is come to sit, and if you need to sit on something, please sit on a block or a blanket if that helps you to be more comfortable. Okay, I'm going to breathe in and lift the hands all of the way up. Going to breathe out and reach forwards to bring the hands in between the feet. So I've got my feet about hips width apart. Gently as you breathe in, leave one hand forwards and cartwheel the other hand back, look towards the thumb. Then cartwheel that arm back up and over and reach forwards a little bit more. Leave that hand where it is, other hand comes behind you, big cartwheel, look. And then all the way up and over and reach forwards. Okay, so this time lean back, hands stay together, go back as far as you can, and then lean forwards, hand sweeps up, look back. Hand comes forwards, reach forwards, lean back, so add that in this time. Coming forwards, rolling into a twist, back to the center, reach, and then lean. Strong tummy muscles, see how low you can go. And then reaching forwards, hand comes up and twist. Hand comes back over and reaches. Hand comes back. Oh, I've left out the lean back, never mind. Reach forwards. And then this time, hands come up, reach them all the way up, lean back. So now I want you to curve your lower back, lift the front of your hips, engage your tummy muscles, separate your hands if that helps, lower, 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 really slowly. See how slowly you can go before you get down onto the ground, and let the head rest and bring the hands down by your sides. All right, we are so nearly done. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Okay, have a little rock across the back of your body. And then keep a hold of your right knee. Slide your left leg down towards the end of your mat. Hold the knee with the opposite hand. Take your right arm out to the side and roll the knee across your body. Breathe in and breathe out here. Taking another couple of breaths. All right. Breathing in, coming back to the center. Hug that knee in. Slide that leg away. Bring the other knee in. Slide the foot down the mat. Stretch. Then roll into a twist. Knee coming across the body. Let your body settle and soften into this twist. See if you can find some release. Find some softness after all the hard work that you've done. You've done brilliantly. Absolutely awesome practice this morning, ladies. Okay, so let's inhale back to center. Squeeze the knee in. Squeeze both knees in. Good, and then slide the feet away. And we'll just spend 1 minute, okay, just resting, stillness, letting the body find a little bit of symmetry after its practice. So take a nice big breath in and sigh the breath out through your mouth. Do this again, breathe in, big breath in through the nose, and then blubbery lips as you breathe out. One more time, please, breathing in and out. Turn your head from side to side a little. Good, and then when you're ready, bend your knees, roll over onto one side, so you can come around and up to a seated position, kneeling or cross-legged, whatever is your preference. If you have time for a longer shavasana, then by all means, stay chilled out on the ground, take as long as you need to rest and recover. Hands down by the sides for those that need to practice to finish with me. So inhale, arms come wide, palms together above your head, look at your thumbs. And then as you breathe out, bring the hands down and your gaze travels with your hands and you close your eyes. And just for a moment, we breathe and we notice perhaps the calm and the stillness and the peacefulness. And this comes from having a focused and dedicated practice where you keep showing up. And never underestimate this. Even if you think, oh, I didn't do that properly or I wasn't very good at this, we all have those doubts. We need to put those aside and just remember the fact that we're here. We came, we logged on, we rolled out our yoga mats, we practiced. And for that, you are awesome. Take a breath in, open your eyes. Well done, namaste. And have a very wonderful rest of the day. I hope your practice fuels you all day long.